November was a fantastic fragrance month with some great compliments and some weird moments. If you would like to find out what fragrances I wore during the month of November, then just keep watching. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Diana and I am a fragrance enthusiast who has been collecting fragrances over the last 5 years. Here on this channel we talk about all fragrances. It doesn't matter if it's niche, designer or Middle Eastern. The ultimate goal is just to smell good and feel good. So, as I mentioned in the intro, November was a great perfume month. I revisited some older gems in my collection and I also added some great perfumes to it. If you haven't seen my latest haul video, then I absolutely recommend to watch it to learn more details about the perfumes that recently entered my collection. I will link it down below for you. So this month I wore fragrances 43 times, which is significantly less than last month's count. I believe the reason for that is that I was using some stronger perfumes that lasted the entire day on me, so I had less chances to really switch up my scent in the middle of the day. This month I also wore more perfumes multiple times. I was testing the new Theodoros Kalotinis drop quite extensively, so I wore each of them multiple times. Besides that, I was also revisiting some older favorites, but you know what, let's just start with the categories and I will talk about them a bit later. When it comes to the first category, which is the best office scent, I mainly wore vanilla and powdery perfumes to the office. I wore the new Vanille Caviar from BDK a couple of times. However, I am not sure if it was the right decision. The last time when I wore it, I started the day in the office with an on-site meeting early in the morning, and I guess my perfume was still projecting quite strong. One of my colleagues arrived a bit late to the meeting, and then when she entered the room, her first comment was that, that's an interesting smell. The tone was not necessarily negative, but still it was a strong comment. I immediately knew that it was me, so I asked if she smelled my perfume, maybe. One of the other colleagues in the room immediately said, no, that cannot be it. But she replied just honestly that, yeah, it's some kind of vanilla. So it was definitely me that she smelled. So I apologized to her. I offered to sit a bit more far away from her if the scent disturbs her. But then she told me that eventually it was a pleasant smell, but still a bit strange. So was it a compliment? I guess not. But I thought it may be good to know for you that it is not necessarily a crowd pleaser scent. But then, what was the best office scent? Honestly, I enjoyed Poudre from Narcisso Rodriguez the most. It is a powdery, floral, musky scent which is still strong enough to stay with you for at least 5 to 6 hours. When I wear it, I always feel classy but still approachable. It has that kind of duality that I really enjoy. It is delicate and fragile, but the mask behind it makes it a bit like sexy and powerful. I think it is a great choice for the days when you want to seek for some comfort and also confidence in your perfume. And of course, I did not get any weird comments on my scent, which is a plus. On days when I did not really go anywhere or I was just running errands, I wore Sticky Dates from Lush, and usually I layered it with some fragrances. I own both the fragrance mist and the body lotion of it, and I have to say that this body lotion already gives a very good long-lasting base to any combination. It is ideal if you want to layer your perfumes with Sticky Dates, but you don't want to overpower the other perfume with the mist. I wore this one with Hazelnut Praline from Theodoros Kalotinis, but I also wore it with Zaharoff Of the Immortals as well. By the way, this one just got extremely strong over the last 2 years since I got it. So if you don't know Sticky Dates, then definitely watch my Lush video where I introduce all the scents from Lush that I own, and I'm also talking about layering combinations as well. So as it comes from the name, It is a sticky, sweet caramel vanilla scent which is ideal for gourmand lovers. It is very strong, so I recommend it that you test it before you order it. It comes in a body mist format as well, but believe me, it is stronger than some designer perfumes, so be careful. The most complimented perfume of the month was Soie Malaquais from Dries van Noten. It is a very beautiful, silky chestnut scent, which is creamy, sweet, nutty, but still it's not a gourmand. It is a very elevated scent that becomes one with your skin and just creates a beautiful scent bubble around you. It is not too loud, but it is definitely there, and the longevity is insane. I got a compliment from a colleague of mine who is a notorious hugger. So he hugged me before I left from a work event, and he immediately noted that I smelled very nice. Even though I know that he knows that I'm into perfumes, it still feels good when I get some nice comments on my perfume. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I also tried to use some of my older favorites from my collection. So one of the best rediscoveries of the month was Ruby Red from the House of Oud. It is not necessarily a super strong perfume which you would use in winter, but I just really love the scent profile. It really evokes some nostalgia and some good old memories every time when I spray it. Ruby Red is a very ginger prominent, warm, slightly spicy perfume. It is very sweet, it has a candied ginger note that is beautifully melting into the fruitiness of the tangerine and the sweetness of the vanilla. It has also some kind of woodsy notes and musk to keep the perfume lighter and to avoid it becoming gourmand. If you know Deep Red from Hugo Boss, then you know how this perfume smells like. I used to wear Deep Red during college and I was absolutely obsessed with it. I remember it being very strong, sexy, fruity, slightly floral, with that kind of zing from the ginger. And at that time, I did not know too much about perfumes, but still I absolutely adored it. Since then, unfortunately, they reformulated Deep Red, and it is only an empty shadow of the original. But Ruby Red is very close to it, and luckily this one performs quite well. It is not necessarily a loud perfume, but it is there, and it will be with you for a good 5 to 6 hours with a moderate projection. Moving on to the biggest disappointment of the month, and it absolutely broke my heart. One of my favorite perfumes has changed over time, and now I'm afraid that I simply cannot wear it. I'm talking about Gourmand Bakhoor from Jousset. It has been a big favorite of mine, and I always said that it is a gourmand without being super gourmand. It is supposed to be a slightly smoky, milky, lactonic scent, which is reminiscent to a kind of sweetened yogurt drink. It may sound weird based on my description, but believe me, I have truly enjoyed this perfume. I decided to revisit it one of the days, and I found out that the incense got way stronger in it, until a kind of level that really it disturbs me and even slightly scratches my throat. This strong incense fades away in the dry down a little bit, but it is still slightly disturbing me. So I decided that I will give it another try in a couple of weeks, and I will see, but if the experience will be the same next time, then likely Gourmand Bakhoor will be leaving my collection. I'm quite sad about it, but I guess this is part of the scent journey and also collecting fragrances. So when it comes to going out and the date nights, I have to admit I only had some work-related events this month. We were both busy with our jobs and we only had some at-home kind of date nights, but I don't count those ones, as usually I wear something cozy at home. So the only fragrance that I would put into the category of best date night perfumes of the month is none other than Rose Star from Christian Dior. If you haven't heard of it, it is the newest creation from Kurkdjian for Dior. When I first tried this perfume, then I have to admit that I did not really like it. I felt that it was a little bit screechy, and I just put it to the category of yet another rose fragrance. No, thank you. But then, God knows why, I revisited my sample and I decided to spray it all over. And to be honest, that's when the magic happened. It is slightly spicy because of the pepperiness in the top, but then it dries down into that beautiful honeyed rose with quite some amberiness. If you know the discontinued Mon Parfum Crystal from M. Micallef, then imagine Rose Star being a more peppery and slightly more transparent version of it. The rose is made the same way in Rose Star, but it doesn't get that thick as it is in Mon Parfum Crystal. However, it can be also the age difference of the two perfumes though. I have to admit that I liked Rose Star that much that now it is on its way to me, as I ordered a 50 ml bottle of it. I will definitely talk about it a bit more in my next haul video, which will also, by the way, include all my Black Friday purchases as well. I did some damage. But anyways, I guess this was it for today. I'm very interested about your fragrance month. What have you been wearing during the month of November? Please share your fragrance favorites in the comments. And also, if you still have some time, I'm going to recommend another video to watch at the end screen that I think you will also enjoy. And until the next time, bye bye!